Okay, we are live.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the March 18th Subdivision Review Committee. In compliance with directives of the County, State, and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, this meeting is live streamed and closed to the public. Temporary procedures are subject to change pursuant to guidelines related to social distancing and minimizing person-to-person contact. To make a verbal comment at today's meeting, please dial 916-875-2500 and follow the prompts to be placed into the queue for a specific agenda item or off-agenda item. When the public comment section is open for a specific item or off-agenda item, you'll be transferred from the queue into the meeting to make a verbal comment. Written comments are always accepted. Please send your email comment to board clerk, that's one word, capital B, capital C, at saccounty.net. Your comment will be routed to the committee and filed in the record. Please speak with a handset or a headset. Mute your device when you're not speaking to minimize background noise. Announce your name when speaking on an agenda item so we know who you are. And when the chair calls for a motion in a second, please announce your name when you make either the motion or second so we know who made those two items. And the clerk will take a voice vote and confirm the results. Subdivision Review Committee is the county hearing authority for designated and a designated advisory body for all matters relating to tentative parcel maps. Committee is comprised of senior staff from the county departments of planning, engineering, environmental management, a safety officer from either Metro Fire or Sheriff's Department, and myself, a public representative appointed by the board. In the instances where an item is being considered by the committee involves a use permit, special development permit, or other type of permit, a simultaneous meeting of this committee and the zoning administrator may be convened, and the representative from planning may also act as a zoning administrator and render decisions on certain permit applications. As a hearing authority for these items, the committee takes into consideration all county codes, the general plan, and other relevant county ordinances, resolutions, policies, and regulations applicable to its examination and review of tentative parcel maps. Decision of the committee on these matters is final unless an appeal is filed within 10 days of the decision with the clerk of the board. Appeals of the committee decisions are then considered by the planning commission. And if we have applicants on the line, the clerk will administer the oath for you.
Actually,
Okay.
can I call the roll first, Mr.
Oh, yeah,
Holloway?
absolutely. I apologize.
Okay, so roll call. Member Mejia.
Here.
Member Santiago.
Here.
Member Floyd.
Here.
Member Nygren.
Here.
Member Hicks.
Here.
And Chair Holloway.
Present.
Just for the record, as you know, Sheriff and Metro Fire alternate voting. Today, Mr. Hicks from the Sheriff's Department will be the voting member.
Okay.
And now we are ready for the oath, if you'd like me to go ahead with
Yes,
that.
please do.
Okay. If you plan to address the committee today, please raise your right hand and the appropriate response is I do. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, so help you God? If you do not swear, do you so affirm?
I do.
Okay, thank you very much. We can move on with item 1 if you would like.
Item 1 is approve the action summary from January 21st. Are there any additions or corrections to the action summary? If none, then if we could have a motion and a second.
So move motion.
Okay. Member Santiago, I move to approve the action summary of January 21st, 2011.
Thank you.
I second Mejia.
Do we have a second?
I did.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Member Santiago and a second by Member Mejia.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. Member Mejia?
Yes.
Member Santiago?
Yes.
Member Floyd? Member Floyd?
Yes.
Thank you. Member Nygren?
Yes.
Member Hicks?
Yes.
And Chair Holloway. Chair Holloway? Mr. Holloway, are you there? Member Holloway, are you still with us?
Sounds like we lost Brian.
Okay. Well, then, Manuel, do you want to take over and we can get?
Yep. I'll take the meeting over.
Okay.
Okay, with that, I guess we take that as passing.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So then we'll move on to our first item of the day.
Okay. Item 2 is Metro Air Park Lot 18 tentative parcel map located at northwestern corner of the intersection of Metro Air Parkway and Meister Way in the Metro Air Park Special Planning Area of the Natomas community. Request for a tentative parcel map and design review, environmental environmental coordinator's memorandum to the final environmental impact report, or FEIR, and supplemental FEIR.
Okay, thank you. We can hear from our planner, David.
Yes, this is David. Let's see. Did we have a PowerPoint that we could pull up here? Perfect. Thank you. Good morning, members of the committee. I'm David Ulrey, the project planner for the Metro Air Park Lot 18 tentative parcel map project, NP 2020-160. Next slide, please. This project is located at the northwestern corner of the intersection of Metro Air Parkway and Meister Way in the Natomas community, and the request is for a tentative parcel map and a design review. Next slide, please. So the project is located within the Metro Air Park Special Planning Area, and specifically in District 5C, which is a commercial office district. Star right there shows the location within the greater SPA. Next slide, please. So here we have the proposed tentative parcel map. It's important to note that the applicant has added a note onto, subsequent to this map actually, they've added a note indicating that Road B would be dedicated through a separate instrument. It's also important to note that there's ongoing discussions around floor area ratios within the Metro Air Park SPA, specifically related to LU32, which is the transit-oriented development adjacent area ratio requirements. So that is an item that's going to the Board of Supervisors the 24th, so next week. But essentially, this project would not preclude any floor area ratio requirements from being met, and that would be looked at the time that the specific development applications came in for review. Next slide, please. So this committee is the final hearing authority for the project, and the tentative parcel map consists of 13.91 acres and splitting it into 7 individual parcels, a 2.12 acre parcel, a 1.89 acre parcel, actually another 1.89 acre parcel, a 2.65 acre parcel, a 1.4 acre parcel, a 1.39 acre parcel, and a 2.34 acre parcel. The project is consistent with applicable development standards outlined in the SPA ordinance and table 5.13 of the Sacramento County zoning code. It's also important to note that DOT has conditioned the project to dedicate right-of-way improvement standards, Wall Street, and signal improvements for the project. And the Natomas Community Planning Advisory Council did meet on October 8th of last year and recommended approval of the project. The Design Review Advisory Committee also met and recommended approval of the project. And next slide. And so with that, staff recommends that the committee recognize the environmental coordinator's memorandum dated September 2nd, 2020, and determine the airport vicinity special planning area general plan and rezone final environmental impact report, and the Metro Air Park zoning ordinance amendment, tentative subdivision map, plan approval, boundary line adjustment, and public facilities financing plan, supplemental environmental impact report are still adequate and appropriate for the proposed project. Approve the tentative parcel map subject to the findings and conditions as described in attachment 2, and find the project in substantial compliance with both the countywide and Metro Air Park design guidelines subject to the findings and conditions in attachment 2.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
My presentation.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, comments from committee members.
Yeah, this is committee member Mejia. I'd like to hear from our county surveyor, John Scarpa, to make sure he is satisfied with what he sees.
Yeah, this is John Scarpa, county surveyor. Is it possible to go back to the exhibit showing the map?
This one, yep.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a delay, so I probably can't see it. Yeah, that one. So this is something that's been talked about in the last 24 hours and is being clarified by the consultant. Everything that is northeasterly of the center line of Road B, the right-of-way and PUEs, will be dedicated per the parcel map. Everything southwesterly of Road B, the roadway, the PUE, and I believe it's a pedestrian easement, will have to be dedicated by a separate easement. The document that was shown to me this morning had a few little glitches in it. I've sent back comments on it, and hopefully that will be resolved. I just want the committee members to know that anything east of the center line can be, any easement dedication can be done by the map. Anything west has to be done by a separate instrument. That's all.
Thank you. David, do we have that addressed in conditions or anything?
We do not. And that comment was just actually received this morning, so.
Okay.
This on behalf of the property owner. I mean, we would be okay with obviously approval with that stipulation.
Okay. Can we form that into a condition, though, that I would like to place on, make sure that it's memorialized? You're agreeable to a condition that states that?
Yes.
Okay. Katrina, do we have to form that condition right now, or can we?
We can work after the meet. I need to confer with John on how best to word it.
Okay.
So if John could just repeat the kind of the substance of it, we can take note and then
yeah.
The language after, if the motion, as long as the motion includes, that substance of the condition. Yeah.
Great. So John, could you restate it just one more time real fast?
Okay. Along Road B, easements east of the center line of the roadway can be dedicated per the parcel map. Right of way, PUE, pedestrian.
Okay.
Easements westerly of the center line of Road B, right of way, PUE, and pedestrian easements will be dedicated by a separate instrument.
Thank you.
John, can we say just that as a condition, all necessary easements along western, on the west of the center line of Road B shall be dedicated by separated instrument, and then just say all other easements can be dedicated by the map. So just call out.
That's another way of saying it. It was just on the map. It was not clear what was going to be dedicated by the map and what was not. So I'm just trying to clarify.
Hey, John, this is David with planning. So when would this need to be recorded, the instrument? What would the timing be on that?
For the easement southwesterly of Road B?
Yes.
Prior to, the trigger would be prior to approval of the improvement plan.
Got it.
Hey, this is Member Santiago.
Mhm.
It's not just Road B. You need to include Meister Way as well. If we're talking about the 14 feet public utility, public facility easement, that needs to be mentioned in that condition. And the reason for that is the right-of-way that got dedicated only goes to the back of curb. So anything beyond that would be considered off-site right-of-way. Take a look at condition 7. I put wording there that says off-site public road easements may be required from these parcels. So we might elaborate on condition 7 to include the public utility, public facility easement.
Okay.
Okay. The other concern I have, this is a parcel map, and it's not a subdivision. So when this develops, they can actually develop individual parcels. So with that said, certain offsite requirements may not be required because they're not immediately adjacent. There's going to be areas that are not proposed for development that might not be required for that particular parcel in order for it to develop and have a building permit issued. Does that make sense?
It's almost like a parcel per parcel development.
Right. It's not a subdivision, so we can't do it all at once. It's a parcel map, so
correct.
They can individually develop each parcel. So trying to construct Meister Way and Road B would be somewhat difficult. Meister Way is okay; we have the right of way for that. But some of the issues is that if the first parcel develops, he's going to be obligated to put all those improvements in, particularly if it's on Meister Way. And then if a parcel like Parcel 7 develops, then they would be obligated to put in their portion of Road B, including beyond the property line or the center line of Road B.
Right, but they would have no obligation to do parcels 2 or 3.
Right. So it's something that we could address during improvement plan, but we need to know whether this Meister Way Road B will be constructed with the first development, which I don't think it is because it's a parcel map. And Nick could weigh in on that.
Right. I was going to have Nick weigh in on it. Why don't we just continue going around the committee and see if anybody else has any concerns?
You want me to chime in or want me to wait, Manuel?
Just go ahead and wait until we hear it from everybody.
So other than that, that's the only concern I have.
Okay. Brian, back to you.
I'm back. Let's go ahead and hear from Nick. I don't have any concerns.
I mean, I think it's something, we don't know how these parcels are going to develop. At this point, we're just processing a parcel map. I mean, I think it's something we can address with SIPs during the improvement plan phase. But at this point, we're not ready to commit that, each parcel or the first parcel to go along Road B is going to construct the full length of Road B. So, I mean, it's something we can discuss, but, this is a parcel map application. So
I just want to make sure that the committee understands that. I mean, we'll deal with it. My office will deal with it when the improvement plan comes in, provided that everybody understands there's going to be partial improvements out here, not full improvements of Road B and Meister Way.
Right.
So typically, Manuel, don't we require the condition and then we add language that says, or other subject to approval of LDSIR and county surveyor and planning?
Well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory what Tony says, is that with the parcel map, and there's only so much we could go to say about that. Mm-hmm. So I think that Tony's department has to deal with it as it gets developed, making sure that everything ties into each other as the parcels are developed.
How do you want to memorialize that?
Unless Tony wants to put in some kind of language other than what he has.
No, I mean, the improvement standard covers a lot of the interim improvements or partial improvements. So I don't think we need to elaborate on that one. I think as long as we're clear about how this area is going to develop when they come in one at a time. Right. So the first parcel that develops will be obligated to put in a lot of improvements because it's going to be all access related, and those plans will need to be approved by the water district and the fire district, which is a good thing, as well as DOT. So if there's turnaround issues that needs to be addressed, that could be addressed with the individual improvement plan. And of course, if it's not built to county standard, then plans don't get approved and permits are not issued. So that's how it works.
Right. Okay. And Nick, you understand that?
Yeah. We understand that we have to satisfy county standards. Can I ask a question for John Scarpa? Really quick, John, and I don't see Javed on, so I just want to clarify and make sure I understand this correctly. With regards to the westerly portion of the Road B right-of-way, is the entirety of, and I don't know the answer to this off the top of my head, is the entirety of that right-of-way within the boundaries of the parcel that's proposed for subdivision? I mean, I'm not entirely sure that we own the entire right-of-way for Road B to grant those easements, but maybe you can comment on that.
The not the version that's being shown, which is the draft exhibit, but the one that was actually submitted to county surveys. There is the center, what it appears to be the center line of the road is the actual parcel boundary of parcel 18. And the text annotation that was on the tentative parcel map kind of alluded that the right-of-way and other easements southwesterly of the center line outside of the property would be dedicated, and didn't say when, so it could have been confused that it would have been dedicated with this parcel map, but it's separate property, so it cannot be. It would have to be done at a later date or by a separate instrument. At what time? Whatever time that side of the road needs to be improved.
Okay, got it. So your condition covers that. I got it. All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I guess we need to ask if anybody in the public has any comments on this.
No, sir. We've received no written comments, and we have nobody waiting on the line to speak.
Okay, all right then. What's the pleasure of the committee? Somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah. Can you move over to that last slide, that number 6, I think? Thank you. Yeah, planning recognizes the environmental coordinator's memorandum dated September 2nd, 2020, determine the airport facilities, special planning area, general plan and rezone, final environmental impact report, and the Metro Airport zoning ordinance amendment, tentative subdivision map, plan approval, boundary line adjustment, and public facilities, financing plan, final supplemental environmental impact report are still adequate and appropriate for the proposed project. That approve the tentative parcel map, subject to findings and conditions, including the condition that is from surveys dealing with the easements. Find that the project is in substantial compliance with the countywide and Metro Airport design guidelines, subject to the findings and conditions. That's my motion.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
Member Santiago seconds.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Without any further discussion,
This is
let's
David
call
with
the
planning. Did we need to finish that or add that condition as well, or have the language for that included in this?
The language, like the council wants to work with Mr. Scarpa and you to get that final language, but
Okay.
the gist of that language was read, was addressed in this recording.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion from Mr. Mejia and a second from Mr. Santiago. If it pleases the board or the chair, I will go ahead and make a roll call vote.
Yes, please do.
Okay, Member Mejia.
Yes.
Member Santiago.
Yes.
Member Floyd.
Yes.
Member Hicks.
Yes.
And Chair Holloway.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next item, number 3 is staff update. Do we have a staff update?
No staff updates at this time.
Okay, committee member comments or comments from the public? We don't have any comments from the public. Any committee members? Not appearing. With the pleasure of the committee, I would adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.